cause suffering for ourselves and for others. That is like if you constantly say, my neighbor has a fence, therefore I cannot cross over. No, you reach across that, you talk across that fence, and you reach across that fence, and sometimes you cross over to your neighbor's house and meet them and have a good time and enjoy together. There's always common ground. We should never say, oh, that tradition is less than mine. That teacher is not my teacher. We should honor all teachers of all traditions and all lineages, all the way back to the Buddha. If we ever said something terribly negative out of ignorance about another teacher, another tradition, another lineage, then that is accumulate heavy negative karma for ourselves. And then, of course, we would make those people who are practicing another lineage or another tradition or following another teacher very unhappy. And we don't, that's not the purpose of practicing Dharma. We want to benefit countless sentient beings. We recite, may I be able to empty out the ocean of samsara from every form of suffering until there's no more suffering anymore. I will return again and again until there's no more suffering in the 6 realms. No more suffering for the 6 classes of sentient beings, traveling sentient beings. So as long as there's suffering, and that means we should come back, we are following the Bodhisattva path, so we will return back. And yes, samsara is filled with suffering. No matter which level we are at, from the heights to the lowest level of samsara, there's suffering. So we are making a promise to come back and to endure that for the purpose of benefiting all sentient beings. That's the core of the Bodhisattva vow. We're not taking this Bodhisattva vow for status. I hope not. Otherwise it's wasted. So before I was saying that compliments and insults is like invisible pearl. We are wearing invisible pearl around our neck, invisible pearl necklace or invisible pearl mala, so that every time we receive insult, that's one invisible pearl, and then every time we receive compliments or praise or gifts, and that's another invisible pearl, and both of those would be equal, not separate. We don't get excited when we receive gift and praise, and oh, you're such great Lama, you're such great Tuku or Rinpoche, great teacher, great master. Then if we felt like that, that's really disservice, both to our teachers and to our students. Hopefully what we would feel is that what an honor that I get to honor my teacher by living the lineage and passing on the teachings when I have permission. Now in my case, the reason why I'm able to offer Bodhisattva vows, there should be a unbroken lineage, extremely important within the Vajrayana tradition. So my unbroken lineage is this: August 30th, 1996, at Pasadena, from His Holiness Dalai Lama, the Nirmanakaya emanation of Chenrezig, I received the Bodhisattva vows. And I've kept them purely, and I also have, even if I thought I made minor mistake, I have made confession, Bodhisattva vow confession ceremony. Even when I didn't think I made mistake, I still did it. Then again, I received Bodhisattva vows from the Khasarpani Chenrezig emanation, which is His Holiness Shabrung Jikme Namgyal Rinpoche of Bhutan, Jurkyu. So we have Holiness Dalai Lama, who is Chenrezig Nirmanakaya emanation, and there's no doubt in my mind about that from personal experience. And then of course we have Nirmanakaya Chenresik Kasarpani Chenresik emanation, His Holiness Shabrung Jikme Namgyal Rinpoche, and there's also no doubt there because of personal experience. So if I say that, that doesn't mean I'm better and others less. That means that, okay, I had that experience. Just like when I received blessing from the Kandruma of Dogen Sensei Rinpoche, and I received the blessing of the Kandruma of Shabrung Rinpoche, I received the blessing of the Kandruma of Jamyang Chensi Choke Lodro Rinpoche, I received the blessing of the Kandruma of Dodor Chen Rinpoche. So in that case, there's no difference between those blessings that I got from those Kandruma of those Rinpoches and the Rinpoche himself. I could easily receive those teachings, same. Those teachings which I received from Rinpoche, if he's not there, I could easily have received from Kandruma. Why is that? Because Kandruma is equal in every way, in every respect, in every aspect to the Rinpoche. Otherwise, she is not Kandruma. She would be ordinary sentient beings. She would be ordinary Bomo, or ladies, just ordinary ladies. We should never have that view about the Kandruma or Sayun. They are equal in every way to the Rinpoche or the teacher. Otherwise, they will not be Kandruma. They'll be something else. So our Samaya should be same for Kandruma or Sayun as it is for Rinpoche, because they are practicing together, not at different levels, but at same level. And then also I have received teaching from Chodichuku Rinpoche's Kandruma, and that's equal experience. Blessing is equal. So I had that wonderful experience with all these Kandruma, and I didn't have any kind of different or other feelings, that less feeling. No, actually it was equally as powerful to receive blessing from those Kandrumas that I have mentioned, that it was equal to the Rinpoche. Not different, no separations. Separations occurs in the mind, just like limitations of bodhicitta can occur only in the mind. If you think there is some kind of separations happening, then you should check again your mind. Check to see is it real or not. So, as I was explaining before, one of my favorite quotes is from Machik Lobdron. Then there was this man who was trying to frighten the villagers, and he said, "Oh, look behind that rock, there's demon, a ghost spirit, and they're going to harm you. And you should be afraid and run away." And he was trying to collect money from those frightened people because he claimed that he could do ceremony. So Machik Lobdron came to that place, and she's a yogini, realized fully yogini, and she's also Kandruma. So then in that case, she said to that man, whatever you saying, whatever you experiencing is a manifestation of your own mind. No such things as gods and demons. So then that is your mind only moving, that is your mind only action, that is just experience, just moving mind. So there's no gods and there's also no demons behind that rock. You shouldn't say like that, because you are frightening people and get negative karma, very heavy negative karma, because you are causing suffering. So then he ran away because he was afraid. But then again, that is his missed opportunity to have received teaching from Machik Lobdron. So in my case, I practice both Machikche and Shije, which is from Kham, Eastern Tibet. In Eastern Tibet, that previous incarnation of mine came from. When I was a little boy, my father told me, and I remember very clearly, he said, there's 3 Tepkang, which is special. There is the border of China Tepkang, which is, what's the name of that place? It is one. And then second was the Pottada Tepkang, and then most famous was the Tepkang in the king of Kam, Dege. And why he was so famous? He paid the people who produced the pecha in gold from his own treasury. So my father always said to me when I was a little boy in previous incarnation, he said, that's why that he knew gift of the Dharma exceeds all others, more precious than gold. So giving away gold to pay these people to make pecha is equal. I'm not losing anything. So in that case, his treasury of gold was never exhausted. That's what my father told me. So true or not, you decide. But he was a very famous king, Namgyal of Kam, Dege, Buddhist kingdom of Kam, when there was separation of different kingdoms. So, with what's depending on our receiving or not receiving blessing, our experience or not experience blessing, is our mind. That we transformed enough to experience what's there, already present? Are we trying to fabricate something and create something and make it happen? Not going to happen. And so in that case, we realize the absolute nature of Dhammakaya, and at that level, everything that is already present, you see. You won't see something that is not there. You will see something that has always been there. But perhaps not everyone is seeing that. But that's okay. We can only be where we are at that moment in our practice. It doesn't mean more developed or less developed. There are some people who are intellectual of the Dharma. That's great. They can recite text word for word, line by line, memorized. But at the ultimate level, we don't keep Dharma in our brain. We keep Dharma in our practice, in our heart. Transform our mind and open up our heart. And that is the true sign of the Dharma practicer. And they get the blessing from doing like that. If we just keep Dharma in the mind, and then Dharma also on the tongue, now that's not blessing. That's just action. Mechanical, going through the motions. We should be able to see if that teacher thinks in terms of higher and lower, mine and yours, I and you, and they think that they want to receive lots of blessing, lots of gifts and praise and titles. I don't want to be around that Lama, for sure. But in the case of the really precious teacher, usually very humble and giving prostrations to the seat, and would be able to tell that whether that is famous Lama or not famous Lama. Many students are only small, 2 or 3 students, and then you will see by the sign that very humble attitude and not thinking in terms of receiving blessings. If they receive blessing, means praises or gifts or compliments, they don't get excited. And if they receive insults or somebody try to damage their good name or to say something wrong about them, and then they don't have bad feeling also, they don't get upset. It's not disturbing their mind either way. That's the fully realized master. No higher, no lower, no you, no me, as it says in the Heart Sutra. No I, no you, no sensation, no loss of sensation, no perception, no loss of perception. And then Sunyata. So that is absolute understanding, and that doesn't mean that relative understanding is wrong or less. It's where the person is, and that we have to give teaching according to that person where they are, level, and by answering questions, you should know what teaching to give to them at their level. So hopefully within the span of our teaching time, we will address at different levels, different understandings. In case of highly realized master, they could see the mind of the student and give appropriate teaching, like the Buddha did. I've met teachers like that. Then that's one level. But in other cases, we must try to give both profound teaching for those appropriate students, and then we should also give teaching on the relative level for that student starting where they are on the relative level of understanding. That doesn't mean that we are giving lower and higher teachings. Again, there's no separations. Separations occurring in the mind. No real separations at all. We are giving more expansive teaching. Then mind is more expansive, more spacious, and heart is more open. So there's a famous saying by the Zen master. His name is Dogen Sensei. He said, "Body like the mountain, mind like the sky, heart like the ocean." Now, I think all those who are sincere practitioners can understand that. You don't have to be practicing Zen to understand what he meant by that. So what is meaning? I can tell you that what Khalka Jebtsun Damba told to me, basically same thing. He said, if you chase after the past, and then you don't have stability in your practice, you'd be like chasing hungry ghosts. And you would also become hungry ghosts, chasing after past. That's gone. And then if you are chasing after golden Zou of the future, and you'll never catch that. Of course, there might be golden Zou, but you won't get that because it's going too fast and it's gone already. You can't predict where it might show up. So, if you're in the present moment, Khalka Jebtsun Damba Rinpoche said of the Jonang school of Sakya lineage, and then present moment is like the Garuda flying over your head, the natural expansive freedom. So, why am I saying this? Because that's to explain that we don't want to be chasing after the past, and we'll be ghost. We'll be chasing after past, which is gone already. We don't have to go after that golden Zou or golden cow or whatever it is, golden ring of the future. We won't get that because impossible to predict where it might show up, where it might be at any given time, that we don't know, and we'll never catch it. It's the future. So if we are sitting in the present moment, and that means mind like the Garuda flying in the sky, means expansive and spacious, and just relaxing into the absolute essence, the Dharmakaya or the Dharma Dhatu, or the Tathagata Garbha Bodhi mind, Buddha mind, Bodhi mind or Buddha mind, and that is the natural state, what we originally had or have, and that's always there, just like your karma and your merit. Nobody's going to give you merit, you have to accumulate it. No one's going to remove your karma, you have to purify it. So if you ever met some very highly realized master, but they won't say to you, I can take your karma away. That's never going to happen, because it's impossible. You took lifetimes to accumulate your karma, so who is going to remove that? Not even the Buddha himself cannot with his hand swipe away that karma of yours. But he gave instruction how to purify. Just like all the lineage masters, Jetsun Kaba, Jetsun Milarepa, and then Sache Kunga Ningpo, and then Pema Lingpa, Rigzin Lingpa, then we have so many precious teachers within all traditions. Within the Lander tradition, we have precious masters, all of whom give the core essence teaching the same. So when we realize one truth, then we realize all the truth. So it seems like when we see sun and moon in the sky, okay, you're on your side of the world and you see moon. I'm on my side of the world and I see sun. But actually both are in the sky at the same time. So, which is true and which is false? Is it my side, I don't see moon, so therefore no moon is existing? No, that's not true. And other side, they don't see sun, they see moon. That means sun is not existing? No. Both existing in the sky at the same time, due to our perspective. We don't see that. Both are true. No winner and no loser. The both are true from the perspective. That's the key. So when we have wisdom, we have compassion. We realize Shunyata, and then we realize Bodhicitta. We have Bodhicitta, and we realize Shunyata. Both at the same time, not one without the other. No sun without moon, no moon without sun. They must both exist in equal measure at the same time. Otherwise, if, for example, if we only had sun, we'd all burn up. Then if we only had moon, we'd all freeze to death. So then we need both, wisdom and compassion, in equal balance. Actually, no separation. At the ultimate level, there's only one taste. Then there's no separations. Separations is occurring in the mind. The more expansive, the more spacious, the more free, the more relaxed into the natural state your mind is, and then you would naturally realize bodhicitta and shunyata at the same time. Why I don't use the term emptiness? Because some people think that emptiness is like nothingness, nothing void, nothing there. No, it's very expansive, it's boundless, just like compassion. So that is brief, extremely brief, from the Tekchud and Tojiao, the ground, the fruit and the path teachings, and then if someone understood that, and they could further discuss with someone like Kenshin Sultan Jamso, who I received some brief instructions. His Holiness Karmapa gave me some brief instructions on Mahamudra, and then I went to his teacher. He instructed me to go to, and I received that. And then I also have received those teachings from His Holiness Dalai Lama. And from my Dalai Lama, I also received the Tekchud and Tojiao ground fruit path. But for me, there's no difference. The difference is occurring in the mind. There isn't one Sunyata over here, one Zoba Chenpo over there. That's not possible. That's all one taste, all one experience. There's no special kind of bodhicitta over here. If we say the words metta, karuna, that is in Pali. Is that less than bodhicitta or more than bodhicitta? Which one is which? Both same. Just different way of expressing, different way of practicing, different way of understanding at their own level. According to the understanding, the mind, and then the perception will occur. And then the practice will be accordingly. Intention and motivation is the key, along with karma and merit, to determine the outcome, the ultimate outcome. But bear in mind, you're not practicing just for one lifetime. You're practicing for lifetime, countless lifetimes, countless eons even. For in the case of the Buddha, he didn't just wake up and become Buddha automatically. No, he made 12 special miraculous things during his lifetimes. And that we have 12 stupas to represent those miraculous events. So, then in closing, I want to dedicate the merit, because that is the seal of the Dharma, and we do that after teaching. We also request those precious teachers of all the lineage masters, of all traditions and all schools, all teachers, dating all the way back to the Buddha, that they please not pass into nirvana, but they remain to turn the wheel of the Dharma. So, please, let's dedicate the merit together. Gyewa dine nede da pende lama drujene doa chicham malupa dei sala kopa sho. So, by the virtue of this merit, may all sentient beings be coming to realize the level of Bodhisattva. And may all the sentient beings in the 6 realms, 6 classes of sentient beings, be freed from all forms of suffering. So, let's pray together. We pray that all the teachers of all the lineages, all the way back to the Buddha, all the traditions, all the teachers, they not pass into nirvana, but that they remain to turn the wheel of the Dharma. And then lastly, we offer the mandala and then long life prayers for all the teachers of all the lineage. So we do the mandala offering now. Yewa dine nede da pende lama drujene droa chicham malupa dei sala kopa shos. Idam guru ratna mandala kamniyataya me. I send out the mandala of the universe to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 times and 10 directions, and to all the Dakas and Dakinis and Idam and Dharma protectors, and that they receive the mandala offering. Whatever can be imagined, can be visualized in the mind, whatever precious things that are pleasing to those. We do this not they physically receive, that we are not doing that for that purpose. We are doing to generate merit, so that we can we can generate enough merit to free all sentient beings from all forms of suffering in all the realms, in all the 6 classes of beings, in the 6 realms. May they all be free may the ocean of samsara be emptied out of all suffering. Okay. Gangri Ravi Shinkam Tir Chendri Sivong Tanzan Gyatso Yi. We pray that holiness, the Nirmanakaya emanation of generosity remain just as Mount Meru, and not depart from us, and if we continue to remain many hundreds of years into future to guide us, and as the Buddha did, as all the lineage masters do of all the traditions, we pray that they will not leave this plane of existence, and they will continue to turn the wheel of the Dharma and be blessed with a long life. Om Amitewari, Om Amitewari, Om Amitewari, Om Amitewari, Om Amitewari. Okay. So I thank all of you for watching, and then I see there's at least 2 Rinpoches here. I think I'm not matching up to what realization you have, because I don't have any. I don't have any qualities. I have only the qualities that you might see or might think I have. This comes from Guru Yoga, always. And then all I can do is try to recall and express in a meaningful way something that might be beneficial to all sentient beings, and whatever level of understanding they are. I hope I'm able to benefit them all. As numerous as the stars in the sky, may I benefit that many of sentient beings. As numerous as there are atoms in the universe, may I multiply my form to every realm, to every sentient being, and relieve them from all forms of suffering. So, of course, I don't believe I can do that. I can aspire to do that. Okay, we are finished now. We have closed with the dedication of merit, which is the Dharma seal. And to all our brothers and sisters around the world, I hope that we are able to transform this experience and realize the Dharma in every experience, including this pandemic. What is the Dharma in this pandemic? Well, we have Praticca Samuppada, interconnected nature of all living beings. And then what we also have is impermanence. The nature of all things is transitory and therefore impermanent. If we attach to those transitory things or experiences, and then you will experience suffering accordingly. And then next, we have interconnectedness, we have impermanence, and then we have precious human rebirth, because there's no guarantee which kind of rebirth we will have in our next life. And we have to use this precious human rebirth as a great opportunity to realize the teachings and benefit all sentient beings until there's no more suffering in this samsara. So, this is not just suffering experience. This pandemic is actually Dharma experience. And if we could see the Dharma in this experience and in all our experiences as they spontaneously arise, and then we would be able to progress on the path. And that is my wish and my prayer for all of you. And you are a wonderful practitioner, good practicer, can become better practicer, a good teacher can become great teacher. It doesn't mean ego, it just means always try to be expansive My little mind is at this level, and then if I can expand more and more and more, I can relax into the Dharmakaya, Dharma Dhatu, realize Tathagata Garbha, or Buddha mind, and that would be quite wonderful, quite beneficial to all beings. And then, if I could keep the mental attitude of bodhicitta in all circumstance and benefit countless sentient beings, and then I would come back again and again until there's no more suffering in this samsara, 6 realms and 6 classes of beings. Okay. Thank you. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Mani Padme Hum. That is the mantra from Rigsen Godam Terma, Northern Treasure. Om Mani Padme Hum Shri. So at the point at which we are visualizing that tree, and that means it's coming from the nature of the mind of Sunyata, and then manifesting as generacy. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. And then, of course, the 15th day of the lunar month, Amitabha Day, I will give live Bodhisattva teachings. And then the 30th day of the lunar month, Sakyamuni Day, I'll give live Bodhisattva teachings, Bodhisattva vows. And then you should request from your teacher that if you have made mistake or you think you have damaged somehow, this Bodhisattva vow can be repaired. So don't lose hope. Always stay stronger and be determined. Be resolute and steadfast in your goal to benefit all sentient beings. Never feel afraid or hopeless or lost, because every experience, the Dharma is spontaneously arising out of each experience. If we can just see that Dharma and not think in terms of the relative level, but the absolute level. Okay, thank you.